for more here. Margaret Brennan now joins us from the White House. And Margaret, again, obviously the White House had to anticipate the backlash that we did see yesterday. Was the belief simply then that regardless of the fervor of it, this commutation was worth it?
Well, White House officials say that that expression of remorse, and particularly the very tough situation that Chelsea Manning has faced on a personal level. Her lawyer, as you saw in the piece, said that she has tried to commit suicide twice in the past 6 months, living as a partially transitioned transgender woman within a all-male military barracks in Fort Leavenworth, Texas. That case in its entirety found some sympathy, considering the White House said that the sentence given to her, 35 years, was unduly harsh in their view, a longer period of time than many leakers have been sentenced to in the past. They also, in that distinction Josh Earnest was drawing there between Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning, point out that most, if not all, of the material that Chelsea Manning leaked was at the top secret level, not at a higher classification level that would trigger a very harsh sentence that the White House suggested would be appropriate in that case, but not in this particular one.
Now, we also saw in your piece that Julian Assange had tweeted that he would be willing to accept extradition to the U.S. if what has come to pass, in fact, did. Reports, though, yesterday suggested that, meanwhile, U.S. attorneys don't necessarily believe that they could successfully prosecute Assange if he was extradited to the U.S. What do we know here?
Well, we know that the White House is saying there was no official quid pro quo, that those public statements by Julian Assange and other public campaigns weren't what decided this case in the view of the president in terms of shortening Chelsea Manning's case to time served plus 120 days. Julian Assange's case, it's really going to be up to the Justice Department. We know that in the remaining days of the Obama administration, we do expect more clemency to inmates, but the signals here are that when it comes to Edward Snowden or Julian Assange, the suggestion of espionage, particularly working with WikiLeaks, as organization that says it's there for whistleblowers and to release secrets that the government is keeping from the public, their recent ties to Russian intelligence raise the level of complication on those cases. So it's not clear, and I think my colleague over at the Justice Department would be able to explain the legalities of that in more detail to you.
Meanwhile, we saw President Bomb Josh Earnest's last press briefing yesterday. I know you were in attendance, and we did find out that he will be, again, holding his final press conference in that room later today. What to expect?
President Obama will be at the podium in the White House briefing room around 2 p.m. Eastern time today, taking questions from reporters. We do expect this to be the last time that he hears directly from the press. We can expect some explanation, not only as to his thinking when it came to making this decision to reduce the sentence of Chelsea Manning, something that went against the advice of his own defense secretary and that has angered many national security officials. Also going to be questions about Russia's decision to extend the residency permit for Edward Snowden, someone who also leaked information to WikiLeaks but then fled to Russia and evaded U.S. authorities there. And you've got to expect when the president takes the podium, he's going to be asked about the incoming administration and his plans, his advice to Donald Trump. So really, there's a lot to be asked in these final days, and just who the president plans to pardon or commute the sentence of next is also going to be on that list, because we know there are more expected before noon on Friday when Donald Trump takes office.
Margaret Brennan there at the White House. Again, I know you'll be all over that for us today. Margaret, we thank you.